Welcome, everybody. This is the Conservation Commission meeting for July 10th, 2023. Present at the meeting, both remotely and in person, are Laurie Graham, Daphne Tanis, myself, Karen McKnight. Betsy Chapik is at home, interactively, and we have joining us tonight Penny Miller and Scott.
Sorry, Karen, just one, I don't mean to interrupt. I'm going to lock the door.
I've got my key.
You got it.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Hi. And yes.
You didn't think that was coming, right?
Yeah.
I had trouble getting out of the house.
Yeah.
You did? Yeah.
Let's sit down. And Marilyn Van, what's your last name?
Dupree.
Marilyn Van Dupree is also
D-U-P-R-E. Yeah.
is also here as a member of the public.
A beaver whisperer.
Okay. All right.
Thank
so
you, Marilyn. No
yeah,
problem.
thank you. So welcome everybody.
Where's Kurt?
I said he couldn't. I sent an email. He could not attend. He had a conflict. He said he was coming, and then he had a conflict and he couldn't come. So,
Too bad.
yeah, it's too bad, but it's okay. I can sort of tell everybody what's going on. I went with Brad and Kurt up to the Corbett Rd bridge last Friday, I guess it was 1,000,000 degrees, to look at the site that they're talking about. And previous to now, it had been a big culvert that the beavers had been damming up for a long time, and people couldn't get through. It would flood and it was pretty nasty. But the town has built a bridge over it now with a culvert that sort of goes underneath to an extent. And what's happened is it's amazing. It is the most beautiful wetland. I mean, I was there and there was a gigantic heron in the trees.
A blue heron?
The blue heron, yeah. There. Mama duck with her or whatever the hen is, mama hen with her ducklings. There were probably 8 of them all swimming around, and trout or some other fish were coming up to the surface. And it is beautiful there. So, long and the short is what we talked about, the Highway Department has been looking at solutions, one of which would tear out all of the dam that the beavers had made to dam up the water flowing underneath the bridge. And that's a long-term thing, and it would mean trapping the beavers and removing them and things like that. But they had done some research, and they came upon the beaver deceivers. It's called the Beaver Deceiver.
Yeah, and we're pretty familiar with it on our settlement.
Yeah,
right?
Yes. So, I mean, it's very exciting. And what that would do is allow the beavers to continue to live very happily where they are and maintain this beautiful, I mean, it's so beautiful now there.
It's a new environment.
Yeah.
They just do beautiful things.
Yeah. Yeah. So they, and they would not plug up the water access with this new type of contraption that
so I think one of the reasons that I wanted to come here is just to amplify that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware of what Skip Lyle, who is the Beaver Meister,
yes,
it has done on Irish settlement. So I don't know if you've gone up there and looked at that at all. He put in this device. Mm-hmm. My husband and my housemate and I, for 6 years, had to get up every morning and clean out the culvert. Yeah. And it was brutal. I mean, I'm talking
every
wagon loads of stuff.
Yeah.
And Skip came up and within 2 days had this in. It's been well over a year now. There hasn't been one issue with it. It flows all the time, flows directly into another pond that's on our property. And I can't say enough good things about him. Not just his work, but his knowledge of beaver. He will look at a site and tell you why it's happening, what you can do, and what's going to happen if you don't.
Mhm.
So that I think is really important because I think that most people, me included, didn't realize a lot of things about the natural uh, landscape and what beavers will and will not do. So, I think, and I love Nate, and Nate works really well. The highway department did a really good job by letting us do what we needed to do. But I really think that this is a long-term solution to a problem that's going to keep occurring. Trapping, it works for a day,
Yeah.
but there's going to be more, and it's going to be constant. And the more you trap, the better it is for the other beaver who are going to be living 2 miles away, who are going to find a new place to go, and they're going to keep coming back. So it's not really a sustainable solution.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
forget about the,
Yeah.
how I feel about beavers. I mean, that's an emotional thing, but I mean, a
Yeah.
practical thing is in the long term, this is going to actually save money because you will not be doing it day after day, month after month, having to deal with these beavers. And I know it from experience. So I think that's my contribution to
Yeah.
this.
Well, no, I mean, I was very excited as they talked about it. A couple of things for the folks that didn't read maybe the handout or what we have here and this just came off his website. Skip Lyle actually grew up in Vermont in Grafton, and his family had a beaver pond. And he later went to Plymouth State, he went to Maine, and he has a master's in wildlife conservation. And he spent, I don't know, umpteen million years working with the Penobscot Indians on a 150,000 acre area that was constantly plagued with beavers, and it was constantly blocking their roads with water. They're having tons of issues, and came up with, understood the physics of the water flowing and what the beaver's mental model is and what they need to be satisfied the water isn't deep enough or is deep enough or whatever, and started building the contraptions, which are basically modified for what you need.
Right.
Yeah, and he has already come and looked at the site and talked to the highway commission. And so then fast forward to Kurt bringing the proposal forward, because we've had, as a town, a lot of issues with beavers, whether it's on the Crane Brook, up by the Corbett, and that water is very important because it is the Seymour River. The headwaters are a little bit beyond it, but it is really the beginnings of the Seymour River that flow down into the Lamoille. So it's a rather important river. It drains off part of the mountains. And anyway, I was very excited about it because I thought it was going to be about someone that was going to come and trap.
Yeah.
So it was quite an education for me.
He's been all over the world. I mean,
Yeah,
he
has.
did. Yeah, he worked out in the West, and he has to deal with people. He is not a diplomat. Okay, he is he knows his stuff, and he can go out he went to Wyoming and act, because I mean, I didn't know beavers were an issue in Wyoming.
I didn't either.
Right, but they were, because they got rid of them, and it's made a comeback there, not just because of him, but because of the change in the mindset. And I think that is what he does. He brings evidence, he brings his knowledge, and he doesn't suffer fools, but he also knows his stuff. I mean, you're not going to find somebody who could do more than Skip Lyle. And granted, the Fish and Wildlife, they'll come and they'll put in a grid. It doesn't work because they don't know how to do it. They had one by Shearer's house on Irish Settlement.
Yeah.
All they did is they just put a grid
And then
in
it's
front of.
blocked up in,
They
in a
block it
couple
up in a
weeks.
day, and then the road crew has to come, and they have to spend
Mhm.
untold hours, and they don't like to do that. I wouldn't like to do it.
Now it's
You know,
hard work. I
they-
mean, it's really woven. Sticks are.
Tell me, we used to. That's what I'm telling you. We went out there well, I can't take credit for that. My husband Chico went out there every single day, and then he had a horrible, horrible incident at the hospital, and he couldn't do it for 4 months, and I and my housemate had to do it, and I can tell you, he did it for years, and there's no, the road crew should not have to do that, and it's constant. You could, there's some road crews, I know the Westford road crew, they just shoot them. Someone told me, the guys, his uncle is on the road crew. Oh yeah, we shot 32 last year. Well, that just tells you they're coming back.
You can't stop them.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to anthropomorphize it and say, oh, they're so cute, they mate for life. That's a whole different story. You can love them for that, but they are the ultimate keystones, right? They're the
They are
ultimate keystone species.
They
Yeah.
are.
They
keystone
are
species.
insistent.
Absolutely right. Yeah.
They are relentless.
Yeah.
There will be more. And it's just like a coyote. If you get rid of all of the coyotes, that means there's room for a whole bunch more. If you manage the coyote and you keep one male in the area, he will keep all the other males out. You only got to deal with him. So you need to be, I think, a little more savvy in thinking about them. And I think you're doing that. You've got the information from Skip. And as somebody who's dealt with this for a long time, I can't tell you how happy I was to have this done. It was the best thing we ever did. And I can't say enough about him as a human being. He works hard, and you're going to get your money's worth when Skip Wild on the job, for sure.
Well, Penny, I see you have your hand raised.
I just had a question. I had a question for you, Karen, and I want to thank you for passing on Skip Lyle's website and information. I was so impressed with how knowledgeable and enthusiastic he was about the benefits that beavers bring to the environment. So it was just very exciting. But I wanted to ask you, do you know what the situation is? Are we going to proceed with this? Does Underhill need money, or do they need permission from the residents, or is this going to happen, or what, if not, why not?
Well, what they asked us to do is to give an opinion on whether or not this was something to proceed on, which is, from the conservation point of view. And they already have an estimate of how much it's going to cost, because I don't want to call it, it's not a baffle, but it's like a floating.
It's a deceiver.
It's a deceiver.
A deceiver.
Is out and is past the town's right of way. They'll probably need landowner permission to build the deceiver in that wetland, and they might have to get the Army Corps of Engineers to give a permit. That's a might, but they're going to check on that to make sure. So, and the neighbors, when we were there looking, came out and were talking about what the benefits of the beavers up there, but very mindful that it's that they have to keep tearing out areas because the beavers have been very busy as beavers.
So do we need permission from one landowner or multiple landowners?
I think there are two there, and Brad's already looking into it.
Okay, and does it sound positive?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's really not
Right.
I'm sure that they're going to give permission because they were very amenable. I mean, everybody seems to like the beavers there.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I think that really, they just wanted to get feedback from us
Absolutely.
yeah. So
I can't say enough to Marilyn for speaking to us today, and I was there too and helped a little bit, but you guys have done so much for the beavers.
Well, I can't even say how important I think it was to be able to keep them there, and I don't think that most townspeople have the time to do that. I think it's unfair to expect someone who has a maybe full-time job or a bunch of little kids to go out every day and muck the culvert and get it open but they may want to keep the beaver, but they don't have the ability to do it. And I think it's really important. I think that's why you guys are talking about it, because it's important for the community to have that resource. And I don't think I would expect townspeople to do what we were able to do because we were retired. We're still healthy. not everybody has that luxury. So, and maybe in a couple of years, I wouldn't be able to do it either. So I'm kind of glad we got that to see.
Yeah. Scott, I see that you're on. Do you have any comments? Scott, you're on mute, but I was just wondering if you had any comments.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm kind of making dinner while I'm kind of just being a curious citizen. No, that sounds amazing. I love how you guys are finding a solution that values the wildlife while also taking care of the town.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for your.
Yeah. So,
Is Pat on?
Patrick said he was on, but he isn't. He said he was coming.
So at this point, I'm wondering, is there anything else that the Conservation Commission needs to do to move the ball forward?
I think we just have to write a note back to the select board because they're the ones.
Okay.
Well, I'll send it to they're the ones that wanted our input into whether that would work or we felt it would work or would be a good solution. And I think it will. The other thing about Skip is that he comes back and checks on things to make sure everything is okay. I mean, he doesn't just build something and walk away.
Would it be helpful if we got a testimony? I mean, we have the recording today from Maryland, but just to include that in the letter?
Yeah. I mean, they, unbeknownst to no one in the town, I mean, or maybe they do, but they've forgotten. They don't know. They don't remember maybe about Skip, I think, or maybe they do. I'm not sure.
You know, everybody should take a ride up there and see that work he did. And again, another thing, originally, this was many years ago, fish, and I'm not trying to knock Fish and Wildlife, but they supposedly put in a beaver to see. They took his idea and tried to replicate it, and they never can. So they put something in there, and what happened was the way that they installed it, the beavers actually went and buried the pipe and blocked the pipe. And they're just, I think we have to understand that, as you said, they're relentless, or maybe I said they're relentless.
Yeah, they're little engineers.
And so it worked for about a couple of months. And then we had to dig this thing out of the muck and get rid of it. But this thing's been running every day. I go out there and every day the water's flowing, and there's, you can see it working. If people have questions about it, like if townspeople, maybe somebody's like, well, I don't really know, just come up the road and go across from my property, or you'll see it.
It's a roadside pond
right there.
It's right near my house.
Yeah, and you can see the guts of it. You can see the cage that he puts in, the way that he works, and you can see where the beavers actually come to the covert and pack the mud all around it, but they can't stop the water. So it's not like they don't know it's there, and it's not like they haven't tried. They just can't succeed because he's a little tiny bit smarter than the beaver. Yeah. Only now, he says. Only now. Not always forever, but now. Yeah.
But they're going to study the beavers are going to study the design.
Exactly.
But what he, I think, is proposing is actually to let them have their dam back further in the pond so they can build their dam maybe 15 or 20 feet back. But the water's still going to come out and go down the culvert.
That's all you
like
want.
What we have.
Yeah. And that's really all you want. Yeah. You're not going to fight the beaver. You're just going to make whatever success you have. That little tiny bit is what's important. And as I said, everybody knows that they're going to come back. And that's the sad part of it, is that you can kill the individual beavers, but you're not going to stop them from coming to a great habitat. That it's just going to lure them there, and they'll always be there. So it's kind of a trade-off, cost benefit, right?
Right. And I was actually listening to him because I'm a little annoyed at the work that they've been doing up on Fairtown Road. My fear is the dams are going to break, and then it's really going to flood out the bridges here. But they're very good. But he said that those beavers are restoring areas that had historically been wetlands, and when all the trees were cleared from Vermont, and the beavers were a ticket item for beaver hats and undercoats and shirts and everything, that they were almost made extinct,
Mhm.
extirpated from
Mhm.
Vermont, that now it's returning to what has been
Right.
before.
Then the fact
Yeah.
that they, I mean, how much, when human beings try to create a wetland, how much does it take? How much money, how much time, how much energy? And a beaver does it for free.
Yeah.
And they do. And that's the thing. These
Yeah.
ponds that they build, that pond, that water in that pond, the weight of that presses down into all the capillaries under the mud, moves that water and creates a bigger wetland. So, I mean, it's common sense that it happens, but we don't think of it, as you said, because we're not used to it.
Yeah.
We didn't see it, so now maybe people will start realizing how important they are.
Yeah. A little aside to with my beaver situation is that this year, well, maybe it's because it's been hot, but also the beavers have done an awful lot of work in the last year, and the deer are on now the far side of my pond, and when they come down with their fawns, and the fawns are jumping and playing in the shallow water and things like that, which is that hasn't happened before.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
It is. I mean, like you said before, birds and amphibians and fish and just so many things that a beaver brings.
River otters, everything
very
else.
I understand. It was funny. My neighbor. This was years ago when the beavers first came back to our area. It was probably 25 years ago, and my one neighbor said to the other, "Well, they're very destructive." And he turned around and he said to him, "As destructive as people."
Yeah.
So, well, you got a point.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all relative, right?
Yeah. So I think Betsy's not here. I'll wait till she comes up, but I think we just need to maybe pass a resolution and see if everyone is in favor of recommending that would be a good. Oh, there's Betsy. Hi, Betsy. Whoops, she's gone. Betsy.
You sure you don't want to join the Underhill?
Yeah,
I know, you guys are busy.
Hello?
Hello, Betsy. Where are you?
I'm
There
having
you are.
trouble, I guess. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So I'll be here for another couple minutes and then I have to leave, but are we going to vote or whatever on the mission statement or have more discussion?
Well, we're not going to do that right yet because what we're right what this is the agenda is right now is
Beavers.
the beavers, yes. And so I was wanting to get a feeling from the rest of the Conservation Commission on what we feel like about using the beaver deceivers, and that's what we're going to be sort of passing. I guess we could pass a resolution.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or do I make a motion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll move to support the use of the beaver deceivers in the Corbett Rd Beaver Dam area, and also the UCC will write a letter to the select board supporting that.
Yeah. Okay. Is there a second?
I second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Betsy's not. Betsy, hello? Betsy? Oh, Betsy. We just, Laurie just made a motion, seconded by Daphne, to support the Beaver Deceiver initiative. And so we're voting on it. So we said all in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Yes, and I vote yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Any nays?
Aye.
No nays. No. All set. Okay, so the ayes have it, a 4 out of 4. And so we will move ahead with that and give feedback to the select board. Thank you.
So I have to leave because I have Chico's birthday cake sitting at home.
Oh, all right. Thank you very much.
But let me just say, I am so happy that you guys are doing this. Seriously, I think it's so important. And I think it's more important that we really educate the public on this because it's so easy to just try to get rid of them and never even understanding what that results
that
in.
entails,
You know,
or
it really
what's
does.
going to happen in the
Right.
future, and we need the big picture.
Right.
Yeah.
And even just whether or not it works, because it doesn't. You know, just killing him doesn't work.
Would do
but this does.
like a education session
Well,
for the town.
You know, he
might.
lives way down in
Yeah.
Grafton,
Maybe
so
not.
he was
Yeah.
here working
Yeah.
in Bolton. We should have
Yeah.
got a man. He was in Bolton.
So
He was on Irish
thank
Settlement.
you.
You
Yeah.
and I can talk.
Yeah.
So
I can't thank you enough.
Oh,
Marilyn.
thank you
Betsy,
Thank
guys.
so much.
yeah,
Okay.
thank you
Take
very
care.
much. I just want
Oh,
Betsy,
boy.
before you leave, Betsy, hello. Why don't we? Betsy wants. I didn't realize it. I thought that she was going to be a little late, but then join the meeting. Apparently, she joined the meeting and now she's going to leave the meeting. So we could table the mission statement until
Yeah,
she's
let's do
here.
that.
All right, we'll just do that. Okay. So the Monarch Butterfly Task Force update. And so we want to talk about what we're doing first.
You're asking me. Well, we are we've created flyers. We have the 3 sessions. We've updated the town website. Trinity has asked us to do more posting on Front Porch Forum, and she believes that it's a big decision because it's a 4-week commitment.
Mm-hmm.
So she wants to make sure we get it out there.
Yeah. So I can give an update on that part. So what we've done, Lori has posted on our Instagram account.
Awesome.
It very nice, very nice. Yep. And I've posted on both of the Underhill residents and residents of Underhill Facebook. Mm-hmm. I have not posted yet on Front Porch Forum because I can't take that poster and put it there. So I have to write content, which is something I can do later. Today I was working on.
Karen, pardon me. I can actually give you the content that's on the poster as a Word document.
Oh, please do.
Yeah, so you can just flow it in.
And you could cobble whatever you want from there. I'll do that tonight.
Oh, okay,
Thanks,
good.
Penny.
Thank you, Penny. Yeah. Okay. So then we'll do that. It would be very nice with Front Porch Forum. My plan was to do 2 postings this week and 2 next week.
Excellent.
But it would be very nice if I can write the cobble the content together. But if somebody else could post once, or you know what I mean, just so it isn't Karen McKnight doing this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we found that when we were doing the things like the tracking for kids. Yeah. And the competencies for kids, a different person would do a posting.
That's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's So
yeah, I don't post. You know.
Yeah, I know.
For family reasons.
Well, Lori and I can
post.
Lori, and maybe Penny could post too.
I can post and say, it's the Underhill Conservation Commission. I don't have to say I'm a member, but I can certainly do that anytime you want. You assign me the day. Karen, why don't I send you the text? I'm looking for it right now. You cobble together the boilerplate, if you would, how you want it to read, and then we can all copy it. How about that?
That sounds good. Okay. All right. Thanks. Thank you.
Good. So
there. Very good.
Karen.
Good.
And Lori. Good.
Yeah. I think the other update is that Trinity had asked for Play-Doh covers, and I noticed that Julie has posted on Front Porch Forum asking for Play-Doh covers as the little docking stations to feed the little baby butterflies before they take off on their journey south. Mm-hmm. There. So.
I also do have, when you get around to it, I had a Trinity had asked me to maybe cover some of the details of the actual workshop. So I had a little sidebar with her with some questions and answers. So I can tell you what she said when it gets to that point.
Okay. Do you want to tell us now?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So. She made some comments on the workshops. I had asked her some questions. She commented back that she would appreciate any Conservation Commission members who would like to come to the workshops, in addition to the participants, to assist and learn, they're welcome. Anyone who wants to come to help and to learn. She thinks name tags would be a great bonus for people to have and attendees to have, as well as for workshop number 1, any extra magnifying glasses. She said she'll send out an email to the Monarch task force and the participants with extra info beforehand when she gets back. For workshop number 2, she says she's arranged things with Moth for using the community room at the library. I'm hoping that's big enough because workshop 2 said unlimited participants. And my book group meets there, and we can maybe squeeze in 14 people or so. So hopefully that will work. So that's the room that she'll be in. She said if she's able to have the time beforehand to pull off a slideshow, she will. But otherwise, it will be a hands-on workshop in materials that she has, passing them around. She'll put out books on monarchs for viewing. She's also asked that, she's asked the library to consider ordering some books from Monarch Watch. I don't know if they will or not. She said she just suggested it to them. She said any Conservation Commission helpers would be welcome. She might even consider having a second workshop number 3 if a lot of people attend the second workshop and express interest but weren't able to get into her, I think, limit of 8 people for workshop number 3. And let's see, that was basically it for that. Oh, and then she mentioned, I asked her, let's see what I asked her. Should the Conservation Commission arrange permission, or I didn't know if you could just give permission for participants to visit Crane Brook throughout the month to pick milkweed leaves as needed. And she said she's hoping that can happen, that some sort of town property would be available for people to go pick milkweed leaves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we had talked about that though already. That piece, I think.
Okay, and that's throughout the month, not just on the day of the workshop. And then workshop number 3, she said basically it'll be the same thing as workshop 2. It'll be in that same room. Anybody who wants to help, it would be appreciated. Name tags would be great, but not required. With regards to critter carriers, she says she didn't expect anybody to be able to pull off a fundraiser at this point. This year is for learning, next year is executing. She'll provide critter carriers at cost during workshop 2 for those who expressed an interest and she can do an email back and forth with people. She'll also provide other things at workshop number 2, like feeding lids, butterfly sticks, and the like. So that's all I got.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a couple of things. I sent this 3-year plan, and I got feedback from Trinity just today. And did I send it to you, Penny?
No.
I updated it. I had to update it based on.
Oh, I do have it. Yes, I do have it.
I updated it based on input from Trinity.
Oh.
But anyways, if you look down here, I have copies for everyone.
Okay.
If you
Thank you.
some of the benefits of having a plan, a documented plan, leads to success. As those of us that have done lots of project management. The other thing is I was at a dedication to my grandmother's community center, and there was a Vermont senator there, and I talked to her and I told her about what we're doing with the butterfly project, and she was very interested, and I'm to get back to her. And I also discussed about acquiring land, and she said, why didn't you come to us? Come to the legislature, because it was really sad that we lost the ski hill location. But and then most importantly, Trinity has asked us to schedule the mowing to not be done or around the breeding session, which would be like the end of, like a week from now through the end of August. So
I don't think that's going to happen until late September.
They're not going to mow.
Not, I'm going to confirm, but I'm pretty sure that that's what
Okay.
that Anton we had talked about timing it. Because we're pretty much everyone is not in favor of mowing the meadow until
Right.
till then.
Karen, is the collection of the Monarch eggs and the milkweeds, is that related to the Tomasi Meadow, or is that something at the Crane Brook area?
We could people are going to be welcome to collect eggs and milkweed at Crane Brook. I'm not sure that is there milkweed at Tomasi Meadow? I don't know.
Oh, so I thought the mowing was related to that. I
No,
misunderstood happening.
No, the mowing in the bigger picture is related to all monarchs. So we don't, they're not going to be cutting, they cut down the meadow at Crane Brook at a certain point too, but not until the, growing season. So it's October, I guess, or something right around there. And I think that'll be the case with Tomasi Meadow. And I'll just confirm with Anton probable dates.
So, Karen, how are we going to, the first session, which is July 22nd, which is really just in less than 2 weeks, I think Trinity gets back right before that. How are we going to help her out? Are we going to talk about who meets there and where it is and where the parking will be, or who will people be passing out, name tags or taking attendance? How do we do that, or has that all been worked out and I just didn't realize that?
That has not necessarily been worked out on who's going to pass out name tags. We just heard about that tonight.
Okay.
But
I just mean even where it is. Is it you park at the Crane Brook area? Trinity will do this over email. It'll be like a new road. Is that where it is in that field?
I think we want to, for the people that have signed up, we'll probably get an email saying where it is. But my take is, it would have to be parking in the parking space right by the kiosk on New Road.
The parking area.
Yeah, the parking area there. And unless people choose to park on Irish Settlement and walk the other way, I mean.
And she had asked about magnifying glasses. Is that something? I think maybe I have one somewhere I could dig up and contribute. Is that something we need to put the call out for, or between all of us we could come up with them?
Can we use something in our budget for it?
I don't think we have. Where do you get magnifying glasses? I mean,
well, I would go to Michael's.
Maybe.
Michael's.
Or do cell phones magnify things? I think they do.
To a degree.
Yeah, all she's wanting that for is to look at the eggs, and you can see that the shape of the egg with a magnifying glass better than with the eyes. Or I think is why she wants them.
I mean, my family could donate them if we know where we can purchase them.
Yeah.
I could get name tags at Staples.
I'll take a look right now. It might be Joann's Fabric or Michael's. I'm looking that up right now.
Yeah. I've never.
Or maybe even Walmart. So, Penny, I got one of these books that Trady uses. I just ordered it on Amazon. It was like $10 or $11.
Mhm.
If you want to use it, I'd be willing to share it with you.
Who's upstairs?
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, it's Bob. Okay, so did we leave anything out on the update? We talked about publicity. Oh, I know. The final piece of publicity is that the Mountain Villager, Mountain Gazette had picked up on my posting on one of the Facebook sites, and they are also going to be taking that poster and putting it in the Mountain Gazette. So that's another thing that we'll be doing.
So I was
Okay.
going to talk to Susan Murray Gray. She's my neighbor. She came to the birding event.
Yes.
And ask her to send around some flyers and talk about it at Bone Builders. Because if you think about it, Bone Builders, a lot of older people like myself, grandmothers, might want to do this with a grandchild.
Yep.
I was going to talk to Susan about that and hopefully get those out on Wednesday. The other thing that I have a problem with, I don't have a car that works right now. So I have flyers that I can't go post.
All right. Well, where do they need to go?
Well, we have a list to the library, to Jerry Hill. I would see if we could put them up at churches, at the Jericho Market, the library, Jericho Market. Where else?
Sounds like a good list. I'm wondering how quick it'll fill up.
I don't know. The other issue is my neighbor, for example, who has 2 kids, is going to come. So is that 3? Is that 3 people or 1?
I think that's, I don't know. I was going to say that's 2 people. But I have a feeling it'll fill up really quickly.
Right.
Yeah.
So for the workshop number 1, it says 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. is the plan to host it twice for 16 people total?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to know if anyone's already signed up from the Facebook, Instagram post. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Because they were just to email Trinity, right? So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think she can really check.
Well, but she will be able to, unless she loses her cell phone or something.
So do you want me to go over year 1, year 2, year 3?
Pardon me. She did say that her cell phone has died, but she does have her tablet with her, but she's somewhere that she can't even access the internet. So she is having a problem with connection right now.
Aha. Okay. All right. So Daphne, you want to just be
This
sort
is
of
what
quick.
a 3-year plan could look like. If you look at year 1, we're doing the rearing workshops. Also in year 1, we want to organize the mowing schedules for Tomasi Meadows and the town. Possibly a fall fundraiser, and we could sell seeds, breeding kits, starter kits. We could, I was thinking maybe Betsy and I could do some artwork and maybe have at Staples have note cards made with butterfly art, and then we could sell those, right?
Right.
Yeah. And so do we want to schedule a date for the fundraiser in the fall? Do we agree we want to do that?
Well, we were planning to have some sort of fall event. We were going to talk about maybe making rain barrels, and Pat has, I think, seed, but I don't know if that's, you keep it for the next year. I'm not.
Abenaki seeds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are the other things we're talking about? Having Penny come to do a finale jumping worm.
Right.
Thing, and I still have some. We didn't know what else we wanted to do, but that might be a fun. We can do it sort of all together.
Right.
Not, oh, I know. And actually, we are going to have a presentation in the fall. But let me think about, and that has not been set up. The person that talks about woodlands, and he's from New Hampshire. I'm blanking on his name right at the moment. I think it's Tom. I don't have my notes with me.
So we need to select that date.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know what Trinity plans on educating teachers and the surrounding towns.
When is she going to do that?
I don't know.
Okay, but that's
this is just an idea. This is just a, sort of for a brainstorming session, what we could do. And then I thought it would be nice if we could dedicate a field at Mills River Park as a Monarch field. If we could get Livy to help us do that.
So that might be, you might,
That might be in year one, the first 12 months. Year two, we could work with Vermont legislature and introduce our plan and ask them to help us acquire land for a Monarch preserve. Explore locations for a preserve, more rearing workshops. We may want to do planting of milkweed around town and different locations. Year two, and then Trinity wants to do a pen pal program with the Mexican children in the mountain area where the monarchs go on year two. And year three, if we could acquire land for the Monarch Preserve, more workshops, and then it would be fun if we could visit the butterflies in the winter down in Mexico.
Oh, yes.
Think big, right?
Yes. Yes.
So, anyways, and the benefits, we all know the benefits.
Yes.
But this is just for a guide for just brainstorming in the future, and obviously we need Trinity around to do that.
Well, yeah.
And Penny. So thank you for listening.
Yeah, no, these are good ideas.
Yeah.
And I like to visit Mexico in the winter.
That's a great idea. I don't want to bring up more work for Daphne, so I just wanted to ask this question. It was the intention that the series workshop poster that is on the website would have the Monarch series on it also. You know the one that you did a long time ago, Daphne?
Yes, it is on the website already. I mean, if you go and
the one I did last week?
No.
Remember in the spring.
You're talking about the list of all the engagements that we're doing?
Yeah.
Projects? Yeah.
I just wondered.
It doesn't have the workshops on it.
No, does it want to have just a general, or that would give you more work, but does that want to be part of the education series or not? I didn't know if you wanted to have it.
I think it's a great idea to add that in.
Yeah.
I don't think it has to be detailed. It can even be just a one-liner, but at least it would show what you're working on.
Yeah. That'd be good. And then, are you going to facilitate that, Penny, or are we just is staff going to just ask Amanda to repost?
I can update it and just I'll send it to you guys, and then I'll ask Amanda to update it.
Okay, that sounds great.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Well, all right. So we have tabled our discussion of the mission statement. Future event planning. I think we probably need a few more people to do that. Unless Penny has some other ideas, but we'd think about the fundraiser. We talked a little bit about those things. Also having Tom, I wish I brought that note, but have him come, set a date for that. I know that.
Was he on the initial document?
Yes, I think he was.
I wonder if I have a copy here. I can go get it if you want.
No, I think
there's copies right over here.
And Yeah. I don't know that we have enough people to approve the minutes either.
There's only 3 of us.
Yeah, because Betsy
Hang on.
signed off, so.
But here it is.
Do you have something at the bottom? Yeah.
Trees, Kevin Martin,
Yes,
but we don't have a date. It says to be determined.
yes. So I can connect with him
Okay.
to do that.
So is that going to be in person?
Yes, he would be coming.
Kevin Martin.
And then he wants, because he lives in New Hampshire, he wants to spend the night somewhere, which means he wants money to spend the night somewhere, I think.
I have a lot of rooms. Okay.
And so we'll have to talk about that.
So he would like us to pay for his,
if I remember correctly, yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, maybe he had a bed and breakfast nearby.
maybe. Yeah. I think we do. And the Sinclair Inn and.
Yeah.
But there's a bed and breakfast also up on Sand Hill, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a couple in Jeffersonville and around.
Oh, right. Yes. Okay. I can do
Karen,
that.
there's Mark Green too. I wonder if he might have a reduced rate.
Who?
Mark in the DRB, Mark Green?
Yes. Is he a tree person?
No, he's but he's a civic citizen. He's concerned about our town, so maybe he'd be interested in. He's got an Airbnb. Who knows?
Oh, he does? Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. No, see, I didn't know that. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we could. Yeah, we can. We'll ask him. Maybe we'll get a reduced rate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I wasn't tracking with you, Penny, initially. Okay. All right. Do we have anything else to talk about, or any final comments from the public?
I just sent you all a quick and dirty email of the research I quickly did at Michael's with magnifying glasses. So I'll just have you take a look at that when you have a chance.
All right.
Yeah, I can go out and get those and get name tags. So
Yeah. Okay.
I'll do that
Yeah.
when my car works.
I'm a little bit stressed with moving my mother and all that.
That's what I figured,
Yeah. So okay, that
So I'll take that to do.
Okay.
To get the magnifying glass, I'll just pay out of pocket and the name tags.
And we'll keep the receipts.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
Thanks, Daphne.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. No other comments? Well, we're going to end a little bit early.
On time.
All right. I move that we adjourn at 7:30.
I second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Penny? Yes? All right. So moved. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you for coming.
You.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good night.
Yeah. Bye-bye.